Where's my coffee? What happened to my coffee? What was I doing? What was I planning on doing with this? Anyway. That's good. That's good shit. Hey, what's up? I'm Allie, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're gonna do a little bit of a check-in. The mid-year freak out tag has been going around. I have been seeing some people say that the title of it is ableist, and honestly I think mid-year check-in just is a little bit better for what I'm going to be doing today. But I thought instead I could just tell you where I'm at mid-year with my reading goals, my channel goals, things like that. Okay, we're gonna eat. I am at 24 books that I read so far this year, which is like an all-time low for me. Doing great. I am about to finish 25, so I always set my goal to 50 books, so quite literally 50% at the halfway mark, which is good. But again, that is the lowest that I've read. Honestly, I just have not really felt the desire to read recently. It feels more of like an obligation currently, just because there's so many other things happening in my life, and it's just not something that I'm currently finding as enjoyable as I used to. I definitely know I'll come back because I've been a reader my whole life, and it's not that I don't really enjoy reading and I don't enjoy stories. It's just that like I just have not had the motivation or the energy. The big thing is the energy. I have had zero energy. Pretty bad how much energy I don't have. I'm kind of just focusing on other aspects of my life, so because of the lack of reading that I'm doing, I also felt quite really disconnected with my YouTube channel. This has probably been the least amount of videos I've ever put out. I have not been following a schedule for the first time in 5 years. I am not like pressuring myself to put out any videos, and at the beginning of the year, I had planned out all my videos until June, and I had a list of around 50 some videos that I had planned to do for this year. That was just in the beginning of the year. Like, those were the ideas that I had at the beginning of the year. I have not done a single one of them. Not any of them. Things were derailed very quickly, and I have not done any of the content that I really thought I was going to be focusing on. One of the goals that I talked about in my stats video at the beginning of the year was that like I wanted to do less vlogs. That's the only content you're getting currently, because that's all I have time to do, is just take you on my life with me. That's all I have time. I was going to focus instead on more thematic type videos that were similar to my vampire video, and I still have videos that I want to do for that. I just haven't had the time to do them. So yeah, so in turn, I think my channel has also suffered, but it's hard to have a booktube channel when you're not really reading. So going forward, I do think I'm going to be incorporating more lifestyle content as well. A vlog in my life, no reading. No reading involved. It's not a reading vlog, just a vlog of my life. I think I'm gonna bring back, a few years back I used to do monthly vlogs that were just like glimpses into my life for that month, and I think I'm gonna bring those back. Just because I really enjoyed those too, and I think it's a really great way for me to go back and look at that, as I've actually been like reminiscing on some of those lately. So things that happened was I lost my organization basically. I even was forgetting to put things on my book spreadsheet, which I feel like is like what I'm known for at this point. If you search hardback hoarder, it's pretty much my name being mentioned on a lot of reading spreadsheet videos at this point. But I was even forgetting to fill out my spreadsheet, and I just lost all my organization. I've been very disorganized, and I haven't felt myself. So I have been surprised that the majority of my reading is still fantasy, because I would have told you that that was not the case this year, because I feel like I don't have the brain power to read it, and I just haven't been in the mood, but apparently it still is. So the trend continues. Found interesting was just that the majority of the books that I'm reading are standalone. I said last year I found that I was having trouble reading series. The trend continues with that as well. It's interesting because I don't think before standalones were my majority reading. I've always been like a series reader. If you would ask me, I would tell you fantasy series are my favorite. Just haven't read any for 2 years. And the majority of my reading is coming from my library. About 43% of the books that I'm reading are from the library, and I think that's going to be changing soon because I need to focus more on my own library. I'm taking far too many books in and not reading enough of them on my own shelves. So I've also been really picky about the books that I'm buying for myself and adding to my collection. I'm only buying books anymore that I've already read because I want to ensure that I own books that I love. I mean, I'm still getting other books from book boxes and people send me gifts and whatnot, and I'm very thankful for all those as well. It's just like my personal spending has just been more on books that I really know I'm gonna love. Okay, let's get into the actual like tag portion because I know that's like what you all are here for. I hate when people don't put the questions in the description. As someone who was queen of tag videos once upon a time, that's not good form. That is not good form. Best book you've read so far this year. I have only handed out 3 5-star ratings this year, which is saying something because I tend to be a pretty generous rater, I would say, most of the time. And interestingly enough, I would say that these 2 books have similar vibes to them. The first one is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I have already talked about in a reading wrap-up. That's another thing. The reading wrap-ups sort of have been a hot mess this year, I feel like. But anyway, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue was an absolute 5 stars. I think the hype was totally worth it. I just was not expecting to love this as much as I did. Both of these books gave me cold chills at the end because of how well I thought they were written and how well the story was done. But The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and then The 10,000 Doors of January, they're kind of flip-flopping back and forth between which one I think is the best. This one right now, just because it's the most recently read for me, but I think given a little distance, I don't know if I can pick a clear winner out of these 2. Again, I feel like they are both pretty similar in style. I don't know. I think it's like there's kind of these different, they're historical fantasy, which I find that I really enjoy. I would probably say historical fantasy is my favorite type of fantasy. And this one kind of deals with looking into traveling worlds, and we're following and connecting different characters and stories. And then this one is more about a girl who's just traveling through life and no one can remember her. And then one day she meets a guy who can, and how that kind of changes the traction of her life. Deal with the devil. Kind of deal with the devil. Kind of. Not kind of. Okay, both of these are kind of deal with the devil kind of thing. So, apparently that's my thing this year. These are basically, I would say, like this one is absolutely a love story to stories and books. And I took so many notes in this one. I would love to go back and reread it one day. I have so many notes written down of things like best sequel you've read so far this year. Haven't really read that many. I did read After Age, Eve Brown, and Court of Silver Flames. Both of those were 4.5-star reads for me. They're probably on a lot of people's lists. I think that they are fantastic continuations of series. For this one that is like strictly a sequel, the second book is one that I'm currently in the middle of and have been in the middle of for some time, but I love it. It's just fantasy, and I have not been able to comprehend fantasy that well, but every time I pick it up and read it for a bit, I love it. But that is Storm of Locusts, and this is the sequel to Trail of Lightning, and this is a Navajo-inspired apocalyptic sci-fi world, and it's fantastic. So, even though I haven't finished it, I know that it's going to be the best sequel. I already know. New release you want to read but haven't yet. My most anticipated release is The Maidens, and I just haven't had a chance to read it yet. I do want to read it for a vlog, and I also want to buddy read this with Vanessa, so I just have to see when she's available, and hopefully I'll get to it. But this is dark academia, probably my favorite genre. Just everything's my favorite. It's everyone's favorite genre currently. But it's a secret society. We follow a woman who's trying to infiltrate the secret society. She thinks that it's connected to a murder, and there's a professor involved and all this other stuff. So I'll get to it. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I have a list Next, No Gods, No Monsters comes out September 7th. And this is about a girl, her brother was killed by cops, and they're looking at police brutality. And then we find out that there are creatures from myth and legend that have kind of snuck into this world as well. This is Our Rainbow, and this is 16 stories of her, him, them, and us. And this is a short story collection anthology. Y'all know I love anthologies and I love short story collections, so I'm really excited about that. That comes out October 19th. I can't remember if I said that. November 9th, we have All of Us Villains. I'm so excited about this. I mean, just the title. Fell in love with the victors of the Hunger Games, now prepare to meet the villains of the Blood Veil. So it sounds like it's probably some sort of game. I'm excited. I love books, fantasy books that have a game element to them. Sequel to Kingdom of the Wicked is coming out. It's called Kingdom of the Curse, Kingdom of the Wicked. It was probably one of my favorite reads last year. It's the series that I'm most interested in continuing because it was such a fun mystery romance kind of fantasy, and it didn't take a lot of this. So I'm super excited. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like it's not an overly detailed world. It's not super complicated. It's really fun. It's a fun read. Biggest disappointment. I did say one of the goals that I had this year was to read more manga. And I had picked up The Ancient Magus Bride. Hated it. I hated it. I hate that he's like a creature and he's much older than her, and there's a unbalance of power, and I know based on the title, you know, that she is going to be his bride, and I don't like any aspects about it. I do. So that's put me off from reading pretty much any other. I just hear horror stories, and then I don't want to read any, but I do want to read it. I want to get into manga because I'm running out of graphic novels. I have been enjoying Chainsaw Man. I was waiting for my library to get them all in because I was trying to read it online and it was just a hot mess. But the only other disappointment is Every Last Fear. I haven't talked about this yet in a wrap up. It's coming. I will just say that it was one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I thought it was going to be a 5-star. I think I even put it in my 5-star prediction list. Finds out that his whole family was killed while they were on a trip in Mexico. And his brother actually is in jail. There was a whole like Netflix series about him, about a crime that he committed, and everyone thinks that he's innocent kind of deal, and it's his brother finding out like how this is all connected, and it was bad. It was really bad. It was really boring. It's just very weird. I don't know how to explain it. It was just all I was just like, I don't really know who we're trying to appease here or why these are even necessary in here. Like, this pertains nothing to the story. It was all very, very weird. Biggest surprise, probably Beautiful Darkness. That is a graphic novel. I have been hyping the hell out of that graphic novel. It is a standalone. I came across it, didn't even take in the cover, did not even take it in. It's a very dark graphic novel, and it was just so good. It was so good. It's about these like smaller human version people that come out of a dead girl's body, and they have to find a way to construct their own means of society in order to survive. And you find out like all the manipulation that happens, how jealousy affects things, and power hungry, and like all these elements to society. And it's a fantastic satirical story, and it's beautiful, and it was just, that was the third 5-star that I've given out. Actually, I think I've given 4 5-stars this year. You know, I could just check my stats. I'll talk about the 4th one, I think, for another question. New favorite character. I don't know if I really have one. I know. No, wait. Naomi, I think? The main character of Mexican Gothic. She is nice, she is sassy, and she's smart, and she's brilliant, and she's sexy, and she is just everything. I love her. She does not give 2 shits what anyone thinks. And she's the whole package. And she knows it. And it works so well in that story. I didn't think that it would, but like it works so well that she's going against like this group of people that could easily, if she had not been such a strong-willed woman, they could have easily manipulated her in any way that they wanted to. But girl was good. It worked so well for that story. A book that made you cry. The Life of Annie LaRue and 10,000 Doors of January made me cry, but it, like they gave me cold chills and they teared me up a bit just because of how excellent I thought they were. But I don't think I've read anything that has really made me want to cry this year, which is saying something because I'm a crier. I am a crier. A book that made you happy. Okay, my last 5-star that I've had so far this year is Bloom, a graphic novel about 2 boys falling in love. And I do think they announced a sequel. It's so cute. It takes place like on an ocean, it's close to an ocean kind of town, and it's like summer, and the one character is coming to like clean out his grandma's house. And while he's there, he comes across our other main character who works in his family's bakery. And they end up working together and falling in love, and it's so cute. I really enjoyed that. Most beautiful book you've bought and or received this year. I just got the Fairy Loot edition of Witches Steeped in Gold, and holy shit, this book is stunning. It has all kinds of foiling on it. It also has decorated pages, but it continues onto the hardcover as well. Why would you stop recording on me when I'm trying to show this beautiful book? I would say this is probably the most beautiful book that I've seen. I really honestly, like, I would have seen this, like, this looks like decor. The other one is Nature of Witches. The naked edition of Nature of Witches is also stunning. A little bit of a theme happening. Everything is black and green or has some sort of plants or flowers on it, but yeah, this one is also stunning. And then what books do you need to read by the end of the year? We do not have time for the list. We do not have time for that list. There are 4 videos that I currently want to work on that are bigger projects that are like secret TBR videos, and then I have a whole list of books that I want to read. But the big project I'm going to be working on next is reading all of my owned books. So there's that. That's kind of it for my mid-year check-in. I am looking like a hot bag of trash can right now. Hot bag of trash can. A hot trash can bag. Oh my god. I just wanted you all to see my coffee wall. That's all I'm here for. Like, the lighting's terrible, but here I am. I just wanted you all to see that. So, what has been your favorite book so far this year? That is the one thing that I really want to know. I don't care about the rest. Just let me know what your favorite book so far has been. Hope you guys have liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to see future videos from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.